Hey everyone, welcome back to Best Movies Recap. Today we have an action thriller movie from year 2020 called Unhinged. Without any further delay, let's get started. The film opens on a particularly stormy night, where a man named Tom Cooper is seen sitting in his pickup truck, clearly distressed. He removes his wedding ring and discards it, then lights a match before exiting the vehicle with a gas can and a hammer. He forcefully breaks into a house, startling the occupants who rush towards him, only to be brutally subdued. He douses the house in gasoline and ignites it before driving away, resulting in a massive explosion. Meanwhile, Rachel Flynn is asleep on the sofa when she is awakened by her lawyer and close friend, Andy. He informs her that her soon-to-be ex-husband is claiming her house and suggests they file an objection. Their conversation is interrupted when her son Kyle enters and reminds her to get ready so they won't be late. In the dining room, Kyle is with his uncle Fred, who's chatting with his elderly mom. The news reports on the violent incident, revealing that the perpetrator is the ex-husband with a troubled past of substance abuse and violence. While Fred and Kyle are talking, Rachel is on a mission to find her candy cane scissors. Fred's girlfriend joins them at the table, and they start discussing their money troubles, especially the costs of their mom's nursing home. Afterward, Rachel and Kyle leave in their old car, but they soon find themselves stuck in traffic, leading to a disagreement about whether to take the freeway. Despite Kyle's objections, Rachel decides to proceed. While driving, she receives a call from her husband, which Kyle answers, excited to speak with his father. However, disappointment quickly follows when his father cancels their plans to attend a game. In an attempt to soften the blow, Rachel faces further complications as they remain trapped in traffic on the freeway. She receives another call, this time from a client named Deborah Haskell, and when she cannot provide a satisfactory excuse for her tardiness, Rachel ends up losing her job. The son playfully teases her to lift her spirits, and then proposes they take the next exit off the freeway to navigate through the service streets. Once they exit, they find themselves stopped at a red light behind a gray pickup truck. When the light turns green and the pickup remains stationary, Rachel begins honking and maneuvers around him. At the next light, the pickup pulls up alongside them, revealing the man responsible for setting the house ablaze. He requests that they lower their windows, and Kyle complies. An uncomfortable exchange ensues between Rachel and the man, who condescends to her before offering an apology, expecting her to reciprocate. Instead, she retorts sharply, which unsettles him and escalates his anger as he threatens her with ominous words about experiencing a truly bad day. Kyle, feeling frightened, urges her to drive away. The man then begins to tail them, cutting them off twice. Rachel takes an alternate route, ultimately getting Kyle to school, albeit very late. She calls Andy, asking him to meet her for breakfast in 20 minutes, assuring him she won't be late despite her low fuel situation. After that, Rachel stops at a gas station, sets the pump, and heads inside to grab a few additional items. When she approaches the cashier to pay, she notices the gray pickup parked behind her vehicle. Anxious, she informs the cashier and a man in line that the driver has been following her after a confrontation. The man offers to escort her outside and take note of the pickup's license plate, while she fills her tank and gets back into her car. He shares the plate number with her as she drives away, while he remains behind to confront the man in the pickup. Suddenly, the man rams into him, sending him into the street, where he is struck by another vehicle, while the pickup continues its pursuit of Rachel. She attempts to evade him but finds herself caught in another traffic jam, with the man right on her tail. He repeatedly collides with her car, yet bystanders remain indifferent. As they begin to move again, Rachel realizes her phone is missing, preventing her from calling for assistance. The man pulls up beside her, revealing that he has her phone. In a panic, she drives off, causing an accident in the process and nearly hitting a woman. Believing she has finally escaped him, she drives into a parking lot to conceal herself and regain her composure. Meanwhile, Andy waits for Rachel at a diner, repeatedly calling her but only reaching her voicemail. At this moment, Cooper with his pickup truck enters and approaches Andy, claiming to be an old acquaintance of Rachel's before sitting down to engage him in conversation. They discuss frightening incidents involving road rage and delve into Rachel's divorce, with the man defending her soon-to-be ex-husband, which makes Andy uneasy. Cooper then falsely asserts that he can get Rachel on the phone, prompting Andy to hand over his own device. In the parking lot, Rachel searches for her tablet when she suddenly hears a phone ringing. She discovers a phone and answers it, despite it not belonging to her. Andy informs Rachel that he is with her old friend Tom Cooper in the diner. When Rachel claims not to know anyone by that name, Andy hands the phone back to Cooper just as she begins to describe him, labeling him a psycho and recounting her experience. Cooper insists that she must apologize to him in person, raising alarms for Andy, who requests his phone back. At that moment, the man strikes Andy with a cup, breaking his nose. The patrons in the diner react with distress, yet no one intervenes as the man slams Andy's head onto the table, rendering him unconscious. He then puts Rachel on speakerphone and continues his conversation, questioning whether Andy is merely her lawyer and friend or if she is having an affair with him, just as his own wife did. He instructs Rachel to say her final words to Andy as he chokes him and ultimately stabs him, while the onlookers do nothing but record the incident. As the man exits the diner, he informs Rachel that Andy is dead. She pleads with him and offers her apologies, but he remains unconvinced and drives away. The man then calls her again from her own phone, reciting all the messages she has received, including one from her son's school. He begins to manipulate her, demanding that she select someone from her contact list for him to kill next. When she declines, he retaliates by transferring all her funds to her husband and threatens to harm her mother and set her house ablaze. Rachel picks herself, but Cooper dismisses her choice and insists on another name. So she tells him to go to Deborah's house as payback for firing her. After hanging up, Rachel promptly contacts the police, but they find her client alive when they arrive at her residence. Meanwhile, Fred is watching the diner incident unfold on the news. He hears an unusual sound from another room. Fred calls his girlfriend, but the latter isn't answering him. As he investigates, he notices a pickup truck parked outside his house. The strange sounds keep going, and it feels like they're closing in on him. He picks a knife and suddenly Cooper shows up holding his injured girlfriend and recounting what transpired with Rachel. Cooper expresses his feelings of worthlessness, claiming that violence and revenge are all he has left. He then murders Fred's girlfriend and sends Rachel a photo of himself with her brother. The man calls Rachel again, and she informs him that she has contacted the police, which he is already aware of as he tracks her phone. He sees that she is near Kyle's school and gives her 3 minutes to pick him up and flee, or he will kill Fred. He instructs Fred to write a letter blaming Rachel for his girlfriend's death while dousing him in gasoline. Meanwhile, Rachel retrieves her son from school. As they drive away, she calls Cooper back, pretending to be Kyle. He orders her to put him on speaker or he will set her brother on fire. He forces Fred to read the letter he composed, which accuses Rachel of being responsible for the tragedy and declares that he will never witness another sunrise. Suddenly, a police officer enters the house, prompting Cooper to hide behind Fred. He ignites Fred, but the officer shoots him in the shoulder as he flees. Rachel hears the chaos unfold over the phone, causing her to stop the car and break down in tears. As Kyle attempts to console her, the phone rings once more where Cooper informs her that Fred is dead and threatens Kyle. In response, she stands her ground, fed up with his antics, and smashes her phone. She and Kyle then get into the car and head towards the police station. During their drive, they realize he may be tracking them using Rachel's tablet. Kyle discovers the device hidden beneath her seat and contemplates throwing it out the window, but Rachel suggests they use it to track him instead. As they proceed, Kyle realizes the man is right in front of them, having stolen a neighbor's van. They spot a police car ahead, prompting Rachel to remind Kyle to fasten his seatbelt. They pull alongside the van, aiming for the police car, but the man catches on and rams into it, resulting in a significant crash. He continues to pursue them, and although Kyle attempts to call the police using the tablet, they inform him they cannot assist. The tablet soon dies, leaving them to fend for themselves. Rachel decides to head to her mother's house, believing the neighborhood's layout will slow the man down. She accelerates, with him in close pursuit, causing multiple collisions along the way. She cleverly tricks him, managing to lose him temporarily before reaching her mother's house and letting Kyle inside. Once inside, he activates the alarm's panic button, grabs a flashlight, and hides in a secret compartment upstairs. Meanwhile, the man drives around the neighborhood searching for them. Spotting their car, he stops to take his medication and regain his composure. Suddenly, Rachel crashes into him with another vehicle. As she approaches his car, he seizes her and pins her to the ground, taunting her about the choices she could have made to save her son. With Rachel incapacitated, he turns his attention to Kyle in the house, falsely claiming to be the police. When Kyle makes a noise, Rachel emerges from her hiding spot, but so does Cooper, leading to a confrontation. Cooper is persistently pursuing Kyle, while Rachel is fiercely defending him, preventing Cooper from reaching his target. In a struggle, he knocks Rachel down and begins to strangle her son. However, she manages to grab her candy cane scissors and stabs him, ultimately killing him. The police arrive and get Rachel's statement. Then an officer informs Rachel that Fred is alive and they can go visit him in the hospital. On the way there, a driver cuts Rachel off at a green light. She almost honks at him but changes her mind. Kyle tells her she made a good choice. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like the video and activate the notification bell.